Hey, Awesome. How's it going? I know I told you I was going to do the introduction video potentially last, but this little voice inside my head reminded me that even though I try to write my introductions last, having an idea of how I want to start the thing for me sometimes is a mental hold up. I like to see how I'm kind of getting the bird off the ground, right? As they say, right? Or how I'm merging my audience into my train of thought. That's kind of what introductions are for me as I think about them metaphorically. And so I think I decided to just go ahead and just gonna cut it and give it to you. Still encourage you to think about it. To write it last. I mean, I think I ultimately do write mine last, but I also have some sort of a there's an introduction sometimes there. It might be rare that I just start writing in the middle of my paper, but because I like to kind of see what my trajectory is, if that makes sense. So if you similarly think that way, nothing wrong with that. So I just thought I would go ahead and so sometimes what I'll do is I'll scaffold my introduction and I'll say, okay, here's what I'm talking about. Here's some of the statements that I know that I need to have for this specific one. If I need a thesis statement or a topic statement or whatever it is to kind of get me transitioned, if you will, into the next section, then I go down and finish it. Then when I'm done, I go back and see if any adjustments need to be made to the introduction. So whatever your process is, there's no wrong way to do it. All right, so we need to include, so we'll focus primarily on A, B, C, and D here. Statement of the problem, statement of planned research methods to investigate the problem, statement of potential solutions known at this time. That's maybe why this thing wants us to write it last, I don't know. And then a statement of team planning. And so again, these are taken right from our sample from week 7. I know we briefly looked at it, I think, in some of the overview videos that week, but this is a little bit more specific. So here's the problem statement. The Detroit Medical Center University Laboratory is reporting a large number of inaccurate glucose readings from blood samples collected at outreach medical centers. The current collection tubes used for glucose testing cannot maintain specimen integrity over extended time periods. These compromised samples produce glucose readings that are falsely low, often measuring as life-threatening values. In such cases, physicians must be notified even after normal working hours. Additionally, patients are inconvenienced because they must return to their doctor for a new sample to be collected. So we get a really, really, really good view, an idea of the problem, more so than just saying, hey, there's a tube problem, right? There's some low values being reported. It really, I really want you to pay attention. Notice how this really, this team methodically wrote themselves, as well as brought their audience into the what the problem is through that. And then notice it says statement, but there was several sentences, so it doesn't have to be, shouldn't feel restricted that it has to be one sentence, 2 sentences, or whatever. So planned research methods, obviously, in an introduction, we're going to kind of, it's not quite an abstract, but in this, the way we got this set up here, it's pretty close to it. In order to develop a solution to this problem, we've established research methods that will ultimately solve these problems. Using primary research, they list those. Secondary research, I want to pause for a second. Remember that we are not doing secondary research. We're not doing primary research due to the pandemic. If you feel that you've got ways that you can talk to someone specifically involved in whatever the issue is that you're talking about, and you can do it safely, that is one thing. But primarily secondary research will do, and they list these here to give the decision maker an idea of what you're thinking, how you're going to be going about researching this. And then potential solutions known at this time, based on previous methods used in the laboratory. We can see that a potential solution to the problem can be to change one type of tube to 2 types of tubes used for the sample collection. The green cap tube can be used for local specimen, and the gray cap tubes can be used for outreach. So already there's, and if you haven't watched it already in the objectives, and then in the audience and stakeholders, you start talking a little bit more about some of that specificity. So the introduction is kind of foreshadowing, if you will, what's coming, right? Here's what's coming down the pike, and that this stuff will make a little bit more sense. But we've done some research, right? We have a good grasp on the problem, where it's taking place, what's happening, and it is already demonstrating here we've got potential solutions. Stay safe, stay awesome, guys. Thanks. Bye.